Welcome to what I realistically read in a week while working a 9 to 5, or in my case, an 8 to 4. It is currently 4:07 on a Monday afternoon, and we're gonna be reading together this week. So I'm actually pretty lucky in that my commute from my desk to my bed is just a few feet. So I work from home. I'm actually hybrid, so I only have to go in every once in a while. It really just varies and depends. I'm not on like a set schedule. I get to walk a couple steps and then I can pick up my book and read for the rest of the night. And that's what we're gonna be doing tonight. I have a few books that I want to pick from for this video, and two of which I've already started, and those are The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez and Daisy Jones the Sixth by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm about 100 pages into each of these books, and I think I'm gonna be reading this one tonight. Also, the one other nice thing about working from home is that you can grow outfit it all day. Okay, I don't hate it, but there is something that's keeping the characters apart, and it just does not sit right with me. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep reading just to see where it goes and what happens, but this book is seriously pissing me off. Like, what? Please, if you have read this book, I need to know what you think. Like, I actually, deep inside me, need to know. So please, if you've read this, let me know what you think in the comments. I just cannot fathom. What? Hello, it is Tuesday at 3:30. I just finished work. I always have 7 a.m. meetings on Tuesdays, so I have to start earlier, which I know, 7 a.m. It's fine. But then I get to finish earlier. I pretty much read all last night. I basically only took a break to like eat dinner and give Thor his dinner. Yeah, I pretty much read the rest of the night. I did watch a little YouTube, but honestly not very much. And so I finished The Friend Zone. I can't decide if I love or hate this book. I'm gonna say love because it evoked a feeling out of me where I didn't think it was bad. Some of the content made me uncomfortable, and I think I need to realize that doesn't mean a book's bad. It's just my feelings towards what's happening in the book. So I'm pretty sure this is actually Abby Jimenez's first book she ever wrote, and it is about Kristen, who has some kind of serious health issues that she's keeping to herself, and she also has this at-home dog accessory business. And then Josh is a firefighter who is new to town. This takes place in California. I want to say LA, but I'm not really sure. And his best friend is Kristen's best friend's fiance. So Kristen is the maid of honor, Justin is the best man, and so they kind of go from there. I mentioned last night that I had a problem with something that was like keeping them apart, and I will say that still bothered me for a majority of the book. The other thing is just, I don't know if it was like a communication error, but I think it was just a flaw in the character, and that got resolved throughout the book. So I definitely didn't want to put it down because I finished it last night, but again, I can't decide if I love or hate it. Oh, why is it so hard? I know I loved the male main character so much. He was so sweet. The things he did for her and the things he remembered about her, what she said was just like so heartwarming. But like the female main character, I just wanted to slap her. There was like a lot of weird twists and turns in this book that I did not see coming at all, and I feel like it was kind of just like a chili of a bunch of things that happen in romance books in one book. Does that make sense? It did set up the next book really good though, and we'll get to that. When I was reading, I'm like, is this a 2? Because at first I really didn't feel the connection between the characters. I kind of felt like it was surface level and forced, but as I read more, I was like, nah, the guy is obsessed with her. It's just when you're in the female main character's perspective, I don't know. I'm not gonna get too into it because I don't want to spoil anything. But as I read on, I realized that, okay, this isn't like surface level, but it was just, I kind of feel like it was like a hot mess, but I enjoyed it. This review is a hot mess. I gave this, did I say, a 3.5 stars. Like I mentioned before, it also sets up the next book because it's an interconnected standalone series, and I actually started it last night because it's on Kindle Unlimited, the Happily Ever After playlist. I couldn't put this book down last night. I stayed up a little late, so I actually read like 330 pages yesterday, which is kind of a lot. Anyway, but I did want to read Daisy Jones and the Six since I already started this book too, and I usually like to read my Kindle before I go to bed, and I like to read physical books when it's still lighter out. But I won't be able to read all night tonight because I have a situational judgment test thingy for school applications, which will take like 2 hours. Ugh. Anyways, so I might read this a little bit before that, otherwise I'll read it after, and then I'll read the Happy Ever After playlist before I go to bed. I'm really enjoying this. I can already tell too that her writing improved so much from this one. Not that her writing was bad, it's just like I can feel the connection of the characters so much more right off the bat from this book than the previous book. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Alright, hello. I just finished that testing. I put on a different shirt because I didn't want to wear a tank top because it's like video and audio recorded. Anyways, I am on page 110 in this book, and this book is so interesting, like in how it's written. It's written interview style, so all the characters just have little blurbs and paragraphs, and then it goes to another character, and then it goes to another character. So there's so many point of views, but it's not confusing. It honestly goes really fast, and I think it's interesting. It's kind of like a documentary. Taylor Jenkins Reid, I think, does this so well with her books. She is so creative. How does she think of this? It just blows my mind. And I'm pretty sure I looked at the back of the book and there's actual songs that Daisy Jones and the Six, which is a fictional band that she created, would sing. Girl, she is so impressive. I just have to say. I'm not super hungry now, so I think I'm gonna read a little bit and then maybe I'll eat. But hump day. It's hump day. Happy Wednesday. Ugh. I wish it were Friday, but it's 4 o'clock. Actually 3:57, and I'm done with work for the day. I'm having a dilemma, you guys, and I'm going to tell you about it. I've been thinking about what I want to do tonight. I might have social plans, but it kind of depends on the weather, and it's rainy, so that might not happen, unfortunately. But this week has been pretty low-key for me, besides yesterday. Low-key for me, not work-wise, but like social plans and stuff like that. So like I've had a lot of time to read, but I'm like, oh, I could really edit a video tonight because Monday I didn't really do anything besides read, but I just kind of want to rot in my bed. But then I feel guilty for rotting in my bed. But then I'm also like, oh, I'm reading for a video, so it's not that bad. But that's the only way I could get myself to sit in bed and read and not feel guilty, is because oh, it's for a video. I just need to know that it's okay to relax and like not feel bad about it. You know, maybe not. Okay, anyways, we're gonna go back to books. I read 104 pages last night after I had my professional test thingy. Don't even get me started on that. I did read a little bit during lunch today. So I got a little further in Daisy Jones and the Six, and I'm still enjoying it. Me and my friend are doing a book club. We chose this book for May, and neither of us read it in May. So now we're doing it for June again, and I feel like I've been reading this for so long in between other books that I really just want to finish it. But also, I'm really enjoying the Happy Ever After playlist. I want to read this, but I'm also like, ugh, I think I'm gonna read this tonight. Maybe I'll go to Barnes. Maybe that will make me feel better. I just think Abby Jimenez's men that she creates, top tier men. Like, why am I in love with them all? Please tell me. Also, are all of them J names? This is the 4th Abby Jimenez book I've read, and I think they're all J names. What was yours truly? Was it Jacob? And then Just for the Summer was Justin. This guy's name is Jason. The Friend Zone, I'm pretty sure his name was Josh. Is she trying to bring justice to J names? Is that what is going on here, Miss Jimenez? I think so. I'm gonna get over my guilt, maybe go to Barnes, maybe read all night and sloth in my bed. Yeah. once. Did I buy books I didn't need? Yeah, but I also bought some books I've been wanting. So now you're getting an impromptu Barnes haul. So first I got Not in Love, which was kind of the deciding factor for me to go because it was release week for this book, and I love Allie Hazelwood so much. Her STEM romances give me life. They feed my veins and my soul, and I just need them. As a STEM girly, my Bachelor's of Science is actually hanging up over there. I just like love her romances and that they're STEM based. It's so fun. I also got this book, the one I'm reading on my Kindle, because I already love it so much, and it was buy one get one 50% off. So of course I had to get another one that was buy one get one 50% off, and I got Hello Stranger by Catherine Center because I've been wanting to read this, and Catherine Center's new book I'm pretty sure came out this week, but they didn't have it there. There's my impromptu Barnes haul. I also ate dinner and am unsure of the social plans if they're happening or not. So I might just be reading for the rest of the night and try not to feel guilty about it. That's okay. You know. Hello and happy Thursday. I keep thinking it's Friday because I'm currently on my way to my cabin / parents' house. Normally I go on Friday, but y'all are from the Midwest. You know Friday cabin traffic is horrible. So I'm going Thursday night because I'm going Saturday morning to the North Shore, and that's a long drive. My parents is like kind of on the way. Okay, anyways, you don't care. Finished the Happy Ever After playlist last night. You guys saw my reaction, okay? 5 stars. Do I need to say anything else about it? Yeah, I'll give you guys like a little bit of what it's about. So it is about Sloan, who is friends with the main character from The Friend Zone, and Jason, who is a up-and-coming singer. I loved him so much. He is a fictional character. I should not be obsessed with a fictional character, but here I am. Read that book, it's so good. Her characters just, I love them so much. She creates such amazing characters, and this book was no different. It was phenomenal. That was gross, I don't know why I did that. But anyways, I'm gonna keep reading Daisy Jones and the Six, and then I want to start Butcher and Blackbird, I think that's what it is, tonight. I'm not sure how much time I'll have to read. Okay, I'm gonna drive. We'll talk later, bye. Hello, it's a little later. I read 2 chapters, or I'm like halfway through chapter 2 of Butcher and Blackbird, and I just have to say, this has already been the most interesting and different romance that I've ever read. It's about serial killers who kill other serial killers, but it's a rom-com. And I don't hate it. It had a long trigger warning list, and I was like, okay, makes sense. But what I think is really cool is there's books that have playlists in the back, but this book has QR codes, so you can scan the playlist and it shows up on your Apple Music. It's really cool. Oh, I don't think I said this, but I read 270 pages on Wednesday. And I'll probably talk tomorrow about kind of how like I read so many pages when I work a full-time job. Short answer, I don't have a life. I'm just kidding. We'll chat more about that tomorrow. For now, I'm gonna read By the Water. Just dropped my camera in the water. I haven't backed up this footage. I just had a heart attack. But look at the sunset. And the book is really good. You guys, I'm seriously not okay right now. How did that happen? How is it still recording? It still works. I love you, GoPro. Oh my god. Oh, I don't think the tripod you guys are on is gonna work anymore, but crisis averted. Like, girl. Did not think you were gonna get some crazy in this reading vlog, did you? Well, you were just at the bottom of the lake for 15 minutes while I scrambled to get my swimsuit on and find goggles that I didn't find and find a net that I couldn't also find. So I just went bare bones. We had minimal daylight left. I'm gonna go read my book. On the plus side, it's really good. So pretty. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Happy Friday, it's the weekend. Ooh, ooh. I'm so happy. So last night after the camera fiasco, I ended up reading 200 pages, which is a lot. I stayed up kind of late and read. Since I'm done with work for the week, I'm just gonna lay in the sun and read. My family's going to dinner in like an hour, so I have a little bit to read. And honestly, I think I can finish this tonight. There is not that much left. I surprisingly am really enjoying this. I keep finding myself as I'm reading, she just has sentences that I'm like, wow, I really like the way she worded that and the structure of that sentence and the use of like grammar, and it's not hyperbole, but there's something, I forget what it's called, where the writer will give an inanimate objects human traits, and I really like that. She kind of does it a lot, but it's really interesting. I never thought I'd like a romance, a rom-com about serial killers, but here we are. Let's go lay in the sun and let's read. Hello, you guys are still working and I am so happy. I actually ended up on Friday not finishing Butcher and Blackbird. I only read about 90 pages Friday, so a little less than I guess like what you would say like a normal day for me, but that's okay. I was busy with family and doing other things, which I'm not gonna complain about reading less because I got to spend time with people I love. But I did end up finishing this later in the weekend and I'm gonna give it a 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed this. There were so many, again, one-liners that I just was reading and I'm like, wow, I love the way she wrote that. Just about like settings and the characters' internal monologues. It was really enjoyable writing. Shocked that I enjoyed a romance book about serial killers. Very interesting. But yeah, I didn't hate it. Will I read the next book? Yes, I will. But you're following Sloane and Rowan and they're both, you know, SKs. And they just hit it off people. I did find the characters interesting. I really liked the development of the characters and the third act conflict. I don't think I hated, actually. I actually think I kind of enjoyed it. It's marketed as a friends to lovers, if you're interested in the trope at all, but would recommend if you're a romance reader, maybe give this a try. Dark romance, apparently this is like a dark romance book and I don't think I've ever read any one of those. So this was my first one. I guess it makes sense because, you know, there's a lot of unaliving happening. It never felt too gory. Like I'm actually pretty okay with gore. Like I've seen Game of Thrones, I've seen like gory shows and stuff like that, so that doesn't bother me. Now I want to talk about some tips about how maybe I read so much during the week while I work and other stuff like that. I will say this past week was a very nice week where I didn't have to go into the office at all. So for example, next week I'm going in twice, some weeks I'm going 3 times. Normally it's never more than that though, so I usually at least for sure have 2 days at home, which is nice, and that helps with like commute and everything. I also say like I meal prep most of my food, so I'm not cooking every night, which takes up a lot of my nights if I'm working during the week. And then I always read before I go to bed, so around like 8:30 I will shut off all my electronics and I'll just sit and read until I fall asleep. Sometimes I end up reading probably longer than I should, and other times I end up reading just like an hour or so before I end up wanting to fall asleep. And I do think that really helps me wind down for bed, but also just like get a lot of reading in, and that's just like my me time. I would say last week I definitely read a lot for me, but that's just because I wasn't really editing any videos last week and I didn't have a lot of social plans, whereas some weeks I don't read at night as much because I'm out with friends or family or stuff like that, so I will say that helps. But one of the big things is my screen time is very low. So my phone screen time is like usually between an hour to 2 hours every day, which I don't think is a lot. I guess I'm not really sure. It used to be a lot. It used to be like 6-7 hours a day, which was really bad. I just like deleted all social media on my phone. I'll download Instagram when I want to go on it, but I don't have TikTok. I don't really do Facebook or like any of the other social medias, so I think that helps just like clear up a lot of time to do anything in your life that you want to do, not just reading, but being more present, maybe trying a new hobby, stuff like that. I didn't realize like how much time my phone took away from other things that I love in life, if that makes sense. I think those are all the tips I have. Oh, it also helps too if you have books that you enjoy and you want to keep reading. I will say that. But even if you don't have a lot of time, I would say just try to set a 15-20 minute timer and just sit and read and then see where that takes you. And maybe just setting designated times to read really helps. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed as always. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here and I will see you in the next one. Bye!